is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
Thanks for joining us here on the news at noon on RTV6. I'm Meredith Barrick, joined by meteorologist Todd Clausen on this Storm Team 6 alert day. And Todd, these numbers are awfully alarming right now. These are not temperatures.
No, and these are some of the highest wind gusts I have seen non-related to thunderstorms in quite some time here across central Indiana. 54 is the highest wind gust we have in Indianapolis. That just is actually down 2 miles per hour from last hour. We have wind gusts up to 53 in Muncie, 52 in Lafayette, and 46 in Muncie. So as we go forward, the high wind warning will continue here in northern locations throughout the course of the afternoon hours. Wind advisory in southern locations. The high wind warning to the north, that's where the wind gust will maintain to be a little bit higher compared to other locations. Now, as far as these wind gusts go, they'll be with us throughout the afternoon hours before they slowly start to subside as we go throughout the course of the evening hours, and by tomorrow morning, they relax even further. So that is good news. What do you have to watch out for? With 0 being a low impact, 5 being a high impact, small branches certainly could come down. Power outages being reported, which we'll hear about in just a few minutes. Uprooted trees, not as big of a concern, but certainly a possibility, as well as driving difficulties here across the area. Now, as far as temperatures, we have cooled off into the 40s in most locations. These main temperatures will maintain themselves in the 40s here throughout the afternoon hours, with a few spotty showers possible as well. But obviously the showers, you may see one there in northern locations, will be very light. The bigger story going to be the wind gusts, so be aware of those if you're going to be traveling here this afternoon. And here is that temperature trend throughout the remainder of the afternoon, staying in the 40s, eventually into the 30s. We'll talk more about your Thanksgiving forecast coming up.
We will see you then. Those high winds are causing all kinds of issues today. Check out these pictures from Indiana State Police. They say this semi-trailer was blown over by high winds as it traveled on I-65 southbound just south of the Franklin exit. Police say the trailer was empty at the time. Luckily, no one was hurt. The winds already causing some problems in central Indiana. The gusts knocked down power lines in Pike Township this morning. We've gotten a number of reports of power lines down across central Indiana, and it's now leaving thousands of people in the dark this day before Thanksgiving. Let's take a quick look at the current power outages in the area. Here is the outage map for IPL. Right now, more than 19,000 customers are without power. You can see these outages are spread out over all parts of the city. Duke Energy serves a large part of the RTV6 viewing area as well. Thousands of Duke customers are out right now, as you can see as well. There are more than 6,000 outages in the Bloomington area, about 4,000 out and around Shelbyville. A lot of those outages also in Hamilton County and around Kokomo. New this midday, a judge has ruled against religious groups who claimed that 4 cities enacted anti-discrimination policies that violated their religious freedom. A Hamilton County Superior Court judge issued this order in favor of the cities of Indianapolis, Bloomington, Carmel, and Columbus. The judge said the American Family Association of Indiana, the Indiana Family Institute, and the Indiana Family Action did not have the standing to sue. The ruling also said those groups have not suffered any actual harm. The Christian groups claim that an amendment to Indiana's Religious Freedom Restoration Act infringed on their First Amendment rights. That amendment barred businesses from using the law as justification to discriminate against people based on sexual orientation or gender identity. We are still working to find out more about a shooting that happened on the east side of Indianapolis overnight. A man was taken to the hospital after gunfire outside of Bar 52 near Sherman and English around 3 this morning. Police say the victim was in serious condition. Now, this isn't the first shooting near this bar. In August of 2018, a man died after a fight that started inside Bar 52, ended with gunfire outside the bar. New this midday, former President Jimmy Carter is back at his Georgia home just weeks after having surgery to relieve pressure on his brain. The Carter Center says the 95-year-old former president was released from Atlanta's Emory University Hospital this morning. He was treated for a subdural hematoma due to bleeding caused by several recent falls. It included one fall in which he needed 14 stitches after hitting his forehead on a sharp object. Carter is the oldest living president in history and has previously survived brain and liver cancer. House Democrats are getting ready for the second phase of the impeachment investigation. It comes as new report sheds light on what could be a crucial aspect of the Ukraine scandal timeline. ABC's Inez de la Catera tells us President Trump also appears to be distancing himself from one of his closest allies.
The New York Times reports President Trump was told about the whistleblower complaint in late August, and it wasn't until September the nearly $400 million in military aid to Ukraine was released. But President Trump is still dismissing the impeachment inquiry at a campaign rally in Florida Tuesday.
Think of this. Impeachment. That's really bull.
And now appearing to try to distance himself from his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani. Witnesses testified last week during public impeachment hearings that the president had told them to talk to Rudy about Ukraine.
We worked with Mr. Giuliani because the president directed us to do so.
The White House record of the July 25th call between President Trump and the president of Ukraine shows Trump repeatedly mentioned Giuliani. But the president told Bill O'Reilly during a radio interview he didn't know what Giuliani was up to in Ukraine.
So you didn't direct him to go to Ukraine and do anything or put any heat on
No, I
him?
didn't direct him, but he is a warrior. Rudy's a warrior.
Giuliani insisting he's not worried the president might try to throw him under the bus.
When they say that, I say he isn't, but I have insurance.
Giuliani later adding he was being sarcastic. Meanwhile, House Democrats are moving full steam ahead with the impeachment inquiry, releasing the final closed-door deposition transcripts, revealing Office of Management and Budget staffer Mark Sandy testified aid to Ukraine was withheld on the same day President Trump spoke to the president of Ukraine. The House Judiciary Committee now ready to pick up the inquiry with new hearings scheduled for December 4th following the Thanksgiving holiday. The new hearings will look different from the ones held by the House Intelligence Committee. Trump and his legal team will be allowed to attend. Trump's camp now reviewing the offer. They have until Sunday to decide whether to participate. Inez de la Catera, ABC News, Washington.
Today on Good Morning Indiana, we showed you what not to do if you decide to fry your turkey this Thanksgiving. Fires like this can happen if you don't thaw out your turkey or you use too much oil in your fryer. Some firefighters say frying turkeys anywhere is extremely dangerous, and they believe you should cook your turkey another way. But if you have your heart set on a fried bird, they say make sure you do it in the right part of your house.
One, we have to have a proper site to do that, and that's not in the garage, it's not on your front porch, it's out in the yard away from any structures on level ground so that our pot stays steady.
Pruitt says you should also make sure you are wearing the proper clothing. That means long sleeves and clothes that are not too baggy. You should also have the proper fireproof gloves to handle your turkey pot. We've got more tips and a complete look at our demonstration of the wrong way to fry a turkey right now on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com. Sometimes free isn't free. Next on the News at Noon, a warning about free trial offers that could leave you on the hook for a lot of your money. Todd.
And Meredith, obviously the wind is the big issue here for the day today. Wind gusts over 50 miles per hour being reported right now in central Indiana. These winds will continue to be with us throughout the afternoon, but we have much better weather for your Thanksgiving. We'll talk more about it in your Storm Team 6 forecast. You're watching the News at Noon right here on RTV6.
Celebration Thanksgiving night on ABC.
It's time now for another RTV6 Consumer Alert. I'm joined by the Better Business Bureau's Tim Maniscalco. And Tim, today we are talking about free trial offers and how a BBB study is changing the way you might look at those.
Yeah, this was something that we reported on last year, and we wanted to kind of give an update of what has happened and also just remind people that the free trial offers, it's still a scam that's out there, but there's been some really good progress on this. Basically what happens is they use a lot of celebrity images and endorsements, Oprah, people like that, and you'll get these on Facebook, on email, those types of things. Number one, those celebrities have not endorsed this. Number two, the products you're going to get, they're going to say it's going to take away your wrinkles or reduce weight. You're going to get like a laxative or something like that. You know, it's not going to be something that's great. So anyway, the way that it works though is, yeah, the first one you get is free, but you got to give them your credit card because there's a shipping and handling charge, and then they continue to charge you you're going to try to say, hey, let's cancel this. Impossible to cancel these things. You're going to get a couple $100s on your credit card over the next couple of months, and you're never going to be able to get that money back. So a couple things have happened. Number one, a couple of celebrities, in particular, Ellen DeGeneres and Sandra Bullock, have taken these people to court and really brushed back what they're doing. The FTC has taken some action, and then MasterCard took some action saying, hey, if you're going to do a free trial offer, you've got to give the consumer written notice before you continue to charge them. So some good progress on here. But if you do see these free trial offers, research the company, make certain you really know the terms and conditions, and if they continue to charge you, you know, they are breaking the law, and really try and report them on that. And also just be careful of social media, because a lot of this stuff comes through social media, so check your social media accounts. But there has been some good progress on this. Thank you to places like your ABC and WRTV for helping us get the word out on this. Good Morning America helped us get the word out on this. So it's really been good, so we're very happy with some of the progress on this.
Well, we appreciate everything you guys do to protect consumers, so we'll keep a close eye on this.
Absolutely.
Another RTV6 consumer alert with the Better Business Bureau's Tim Maniscalco. Thanks, Tim. It is Thanksgiving travel time, and for some, it's time to hurry up and wait on the airports or on the roads. Next, how a big storm system in other parts of the country could have a ripple effect and impact you. We'll be right back.
Air for. If you ever have a question, call me.
Thanksgiving travel is windy here in central Indiana, but in some areas travel is downright treacherous. A massive storm system is bringing an early winter to parts of the country, and ABC's Alex Perez is in snowy Minneapolis, showing us the weather that could hold you up at the airport or on the roads.
What a difference a few hours can make here in Minneapolis. We went from no snow on the ground to, take a look, a lot of snow on the ground, at one point coming down at a rate of about 2 inches an hour. Now, the snow and icy conditions creating some major problems on roadways across the plains and parts of the Midwest. Authorities struggling to respond to countless crashes. This Utah dash cam captured an officer who just narrowly missed getting hit after a vehicle lost control on slick roads. And Mother Nature not taking a holiday, creating problems in other areas too. Out west, strong winds ripping a roof off of a home, and in parts of the south, possible tornadoes destroying homes there. Now, the storm here in Minnesota will be moving out of the area very quickly, but it is expected to create problems along the way as it moves east. Alex Perez, ABC News, Minneapolis.
Alex, thanks. We are taking a live look right now at downtown on this Storm Team 6 alert day. If you've stepped outside any time in the past few hours, Todd, you have felt that wind. Those gusts so strong, it has closed the Chris Kindle Mart in Carmel for the day. They just are concerned about the safety of visitors and the people that are working there. So this is having some major impacts all across central Indiana.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I was driving on my lunch break at 10 a.m., which is our lunch break for getting up so early, and the leaves were just whipping. There's some small branches that had come down, and these are some of the strongest winds I'd seen in quite some time that aren't related to thunderstorms across parts of central Indiana. So the wind speeds are a little higher from Indianapolis to the north as expected, and that's where the high wind warning is in effect compared to southern locations where there's still impressive 31 miles per hour in Bloomington, 43 in Columbus, and that's where the wind advisory is posted across the area. So as we go throughout the remainder of the day, the wind speeds and gusts will stay right where they are as of right now through probably about the 3-4 o'clock hour, and then they'll slowly start to subside. Still very breezy though throughout the evening hours, and then eventually by the time we get to tomorrow morning, things will be much better across the area. Thankfully, here across the area, we need a little bit of a break from this wind, and we'll get it. So the high wind warning through 9 o'clock, essentially from I-70 to the north to the south. We're talking about the wind advisory, and that's gusts to about 40 miles per hour. Either way you look at it, be careful on the roadways, especially those north-south roadways, because this is a west wind, so it'll be hitting you from the side, especially in those SUVs, and obviously there could be some delays at the airport because of these winds as well. So as far as the rain goes, there's a few lingering showers here in northern locations. Anything you do see going to be very, very light. Really not too concerned about any additional rain after what was a very wet overnight period, but the clouds are definitely in place. place. And as far as the storm system itself goes, it's once this area of low pressure, which is centered in Michigan, pulls away and pushes to the north, that's when our winds will start to relax. But again, as I mentioned, that's not till really overnight. I'll quickly mention another storm system here out in California. This has a lot of wind with it too, so delays from Los Angeles to San Francisco with some rain. Even in Vegas up to Portland, they're dealing with a lot of wind, and then mountain snows in the higher elevations. You can see our camera shaking here at IMS as you look off towards downtown. Temperatures much colder. We are in the upper 50s this morning, and now we're in the 30s and 40s across the area. The cool spot, Crawfordsville at 37, 39 in Tipton and Peru. Columbus, you're at 45. These temperatures will hold pretty steady throughout the afternoon hours, if not fall a little bit as we work our way into the evening, back down into the 30s. Tomorrow, the Drumstick Dash and other races across central Indiana kick off your Thanksgiving. Temperatures right around freezing. The winds are calmer, mostly cloudy skies, but it will be dry. And then for the rest of your Thanksgiving, we're talking about mostly cloudy skies, pretty quiet day of weather, a high temperature of 42 degrees. Here's a look at your 7-day planning forecast. Friday's fairly quiet as well before another system brings us more wind and more rain Saturday into Sunday, but it's all rain on Saturday with a high of 53.
Todd, thank you. We know a lot of organizations are helping to serve a lot of meals to those who are in need tomorrow for Thanksgiving Day, but the need for food does not end with the holiday. The Black Entrepreneur Project and the group Don't Sleep are getting together to make sure more people who could use a hot meal can get one this Saturday. Raven Ridgel and Christian Golden from Don't Sleep are here to tell us more about this and how we can help. Thank you guys so much for joining me this afternoon. So let's talk a little bit about Saturday's event and what the purpose of it is.
So the purpose of the event, this is our second year doing it. The first year, last year, we did it at Howe. This year, we'll be doing it at Flint House. So the purpose is to give back to the less fortunate, also families in need, and just put smiles on individuals' faces during the holiday season. So
why Saturday? We see so many organizations gather together tomorrow to focus on those in need. So why are you guys focusing on Saturday instead?
Well, it was important to give individuals the chance to come together. We know that if you have a day off, you want your day off with your family.
Right.
And we also hoped that those who may not have a family or might not have that day in mind as special to them, we want to give them the chance to come out because it is open to everyone.
And this really highlights that hunger isn't just on the holidays. It's not just Thanksgiving. It's not just Christmas. It is year-round. So a random Saturday, this makes a big impact for them.
Yes.
It truly does, because one of the things we do know, like you said, is hunger is year-round, especially in Indianapolis. We are ranked highly as a state, as a city, with food insecurities, and so that's why we are focusing on the areas we are focusing on. Howe, Flint, right? Because we know those areas are suffering.
Right.
And it's not just enough to say, here are your resources. These are humans. We are humans. So we work together to bring resources to those in need.
And you need the rest of the humans of Central Indiana to help you out for Saturday. Donations are very, very much needed right now.
Yes. So it is not enough to feed the streets, right? We also have to feed the streets per regulations set by the Marion County Health Department. So donations are needed, monetary donations especially. And if you want pre-packaged foods, and if you are a restaurant who you have something extra and you want to give it to us, we would greatly appreciate that as well.
It's the season of giving. Well, thank you both so much for joining me. We'll have all this information on our website, theindychannel.com. It's also on your screen right now. We'll be back after this break.
Thank you.
For you, call the hammer.
All right, it's an extremely windy afternoon. As you know, across the area, the wind will continue to whip up to 50 miles per hour throughout much of the afternoon, then start to subside this evening. Temperatures will hold steady in the 40s. As we go into tomorrow, 42 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. Friday for Black Friday shopping, could be a stray shower or two, but nothing major. Then as we get into Saturday and Sunday, rain returns as well as some wind, but it looks like the temperatures will be fairly mild.
All right, Todd, thank you. Please be careful out there in that strong wind, and thank you for joining us here for the news at noon. We hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow.